Folks, we're back. This is Steve Sanson, Stephanie Phillips with another episode of Veterans in Politics. Today we have Nadia Krall, Clark County District Court Judge, Department 4. But before we get to Judge Krall, Ms. Phillips.
Thanks for joining us, everybody, and thank you to our sponsors. We have Semper Fi Heating and Cooling. If you need your system checked, get in touch with them. Their website is callsemperfi.com. Callsemperfi.com. We also have Henderson's Mayor, Michelle Romero. She's running for re-election, and her website is votemichelleromero.com. votemichelleromero.com. We also have Cody K. Whipple. He is running for Congressional District 4. His website is Cody K for Congress.com, CodyK4Congress.com, and that is the number 4. Also, don't forget to grab your copy of Steve's book, How to Navigate Nevada's Family Court System. If you don't have an attorney and you can't afford one, you can grab this on Amazon for $14.99. This is a self-help book, and it will help you navigate that system. Also, don't forget to grab your Valentine's Ball tickets. They are on sale to the end of August for only $99. We have never sold them this cheap before. All the link for the tickets is on our Facebook pages, and if you need that sent to you individually, we will. Just get in touch with us. And the ball is going to be February 7th of 2026. I know it sounds far away, but it will be here before you know it. Also, we have a merch store. It's VIPImerch.com, VIPImerch.com. We have all kinds of fun stuff for you guys to check out there. For my rant, guys, I got to put her up there. Mark, you can zoom in on this when the time comes. So you guys know that we've been advocating for this family because CPS took their kids. And just a couple weeks ago, the CPS worker, Carrie Allen Singleton, you've heard that name before. She thought it'd be a good idea to take these kids out of a perfectly good placement, safe placement. She made up this narrative. They were in imminent danger and took them to Child Haven. And now they have been placed with this gal right here. Ashley is her name. You see the way she is carrying this 10-month-old baby. That wasn't just for a second. That was carrying and holding her like that. This particular foster placement doesn't see the need to take a diaper bag with diapers, a bottle, a pacifier, food for the 3-year-old that she also has in her care. Extra set of clothes, anything that a normal mom would take having an infant and a 3-year-old, which is stunning to me. 2 different times she comes and is not prepared. Also, the 3-year-old had a braid in her hair and it was falling out. So the mom rebraided it, and this gal, foster placement, grabs the hair and pulls her over and says, "Can you not keep your hair?" Hold on. I'm gonna quote this. "Can you not mess up your hair every time we go in public?" This foster placement says that to a 3-year-old. Well, a 3-year-old, as you know, plays, and yeah, their braids is going to get a mess. And she didn't have food for her. She was hungry. And the state gives them money, plenty of money to buy food for these kids. So I don't understand. There should be no reason that these kids are hungry. Maybe she should take some more money and buy food instead of painting 5,000 tattoos all over herself and driving a Tesla. That might help Ashley. Also, the parents gave the 3-year-old a little lollipop that the hospital nurse gave them. And here comes Ashley again and takes the lollipop out of her mouth and says, "We don't do sugar. Can you not give her that lollipop?" She said, "I'm the one that has to deal with them later." CPS, I don't know where you get your foster placements, but this one right here does not seem qualified. This one needs to be taken off the list. I don't think she's a mom, obviously. She doesn't know how to deal with children, doesn't know how to carry babies properly. And Carrie, this is your fault. I put this all on you. You're the one that removed them from a perfectly safe and good home for the time being with the fictive kin, but you chose to disrupt these poor kids' lives 2 times in the last few weeks because you pulled them out of that house, put them in child haven, and then you put them with this disaster. So anyway, I would say get your act together. CPS, do a better job at getting foster parents to watch these poor kids. They're already going through enough. Thank you.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Good job.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good. You?
Very good, very good. Could you give us a bio, please?
I have lived in Las Vegas since I was 1. I went to elementary school, middle school, high school here. I went to college here. I went to Boyd Law School here. I started working. I did insurance defense for about 8 years, and then I did personal injury for about 12. I did some other areas, some criminal, some family, and some other litigation. And then I became a judge in 2020.
Kids, husband?
No kids. I have a husband.
Okay.
We do have a black and tan German Shepherd.
Aw.
He's our only child.
Oh,
So you got fur babies.
they count.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So we love him.
So since you've been on the bench for how long now?
It's almost 5 years.
5 years. Have your perspective, the way you think, has that changed? And if so, how?
Well, I'd like to think that I'm much more patient and understanding and giving people more time, because it's not just about, there's substantive due process and there's procedural due process. So procedural due process is, how did you make someone feel? Did they feel heard? Did you make sure that you read all of their evidence? And substantive due process is, what was the outcome?
Okay.
And they're both important. And so I try and think about both of those prongs equally.
Do you have a dual calendar?
Now I do. Now I have civil and
criminal?
criminal.
Which one would you prefer?
There's a pro and a con to each.
Okay.
I really love civil, but doing criminal, it's about the Constitution, it's about people's rights, it's about protecting the community. You have to weigh those. So criminal, for me, it's much more fast paced, and there's a lot. So I could have 20 criminal hearings in a morning, and I could do those in a morning, but I could have one civil case and it could take an hour and a half or 2 hours just for the hearing. Whereas generally a criminal hearing that's weekly isn't going to take that long. So, but I do love civil.
So I'll let Ms. Phillips ask that question about that youth.
Oh, so judges, it seems like you guys have a lot of discretion, latitude, sometimes when it comes to sentencing, because you have certain guidelines, right? That you can follow. But when a 16-year-old kills his father, shoots and kills his father, and then gets probation, that to me sets a terrible precedent. That just happened, I believe, last week with a certain case. And you may not be able to comment, but I wonder how do you get to a place where you use that discretion to let somebody off the hook like that?
I don't know about that particular case, but in each case for criminal, I have to look at what is the crime, what is the impact on the victim, what is the person's criminal history, and how does it affect the community? So I have to look at that. And I also look at the defendant's own history of whether or not they have mental illness or those types of things. So I'm very aware of what does the victim want, what is best for the defendant, and what is best for the community, and weighing all of those factors. It's not an easy job. It really, really isn't.
Have you had to preside over a minor
Yes.
a murder case that?
Not murder. So we have a whole homicide team that Judge Tara Jones, she's in charge of it. And then Judge Bluth, Kearney, and Levitt are all the judges on that. So I hear everything from attempt murder down, as long as it's a gross misdemeanor or a felony. So no murders, but attempt murder. Yes.
Did you run your own law practice at one particular time?
I did for 12 years.
What lessons from that law practice have you brought to the bench?
To be efficient, to respect not only attorneys' times, but if you're representing yourself, to respect their time. So I know this may seem small, but one of the issues I had as a lawyer was if I wanted a hearing moved, we'd have to prepare a stipulation and order, which meant you had to prepare a legal document. You had to make sure it was accurate. You had to have the other side sign it, and you had to file it. And that whole process can take an hour or two. Whether it's your time or if you have staff, it's still a lot in a day. And I swore that I would not make people do that. So everyone in my department knows if you have a medical emergency or anything, if something was set and you're going to be on vacation with your family, you can email my assistant, my judicial executive assistant, we call them JEAs, copy the other side on it and say, hey, can we move this hearing to this date because I'm going to be on vacation or because I'm having a medical procedure, just to make it a little bit easier. The practice of law is extremely stressful, and I want to lessen that stress as much as possible, whether you're an attorney who's representing clients or if you're representing yourself, to make it as easy as possible because there's enough complexity. I don't want to make it harder for people.
How do you look at judicial temperament?
Judicial
Do you
temperament,
think you have that?
I don't know. It's hard to read the label when you're inside the bottle.
That's a good one.
But I hope that I do. One of the lessons that I learned early on, it was in judicial college. We have a judicial college and they go over criminal procedure and other areas, but there was a judge who was retired. And to me, he was just this gem of wisdom. And he said, if you're feeling overwhelmed or you're starting to get upset, just take a break. And that was the best advice anyone gave me. And so if I ever felt that I was getting upset, I knew that I had to take a break because it's not appropriate for me to get upset. And also for the attorneys, I will ask them if they're getting upset, do you need a break? And a lot of times just that question just resets everything. And sometimes they'll say, you know what? Yes, I do. I'm hungry or I'm thirsty or I need to use the restroom. And other times they'll say, no, I'm fine actually. And then they get back on track. So just taking a break and resetting will really help calm everyone's emotions down, because even if it's civil or criminal, people do get heated, and I understand it's very personal, especially family court.
Yeah. What frustrates you the most?
What frustrates me the most?
Yeah, in court.
Not being able to help self-represented people more. I will say that AI has helped a lot. People lately, over the past 6 months to a year, their legal documents have been actually really, really good. It's really, really.
Thank you, AI.
You see a lot of pro ses?
I do, not as much as family court, but I do. And it's important for me to make sure that they're not overwhelmed by the process to the extent that I can. But at the end of the day, I can't be an advocate. But that's one of the issues that you have a handbook for family court. There is a need for civil as well.
Oh, I should get right into it.
Go ahead.
Another book.
I already wrote one on small claims collection law years ago.
Yeah, and I was a small claims court judge for 4 years. Yeah,
okay.
we talked about that before. That the years didn't overlap, but small claims court is more accessible. There's less procedural hurdles. You go to trial right then and there, right? You present your evidence. Here's your binder. we're going to look at it. We're going to have both sides present their testimony. Whereas in district court, there's a lot of steps that you have to go through. So it makes it harder.
So you had a very good law practice, right?
I did.
Why would you want to give that up and become a judge?
It's public service.
Okay.
It's like being a teacher or a firefighter. You want to do the most good and help the most people. Really, in my practice, the most cases I could handle was about 50. And as a judge, you have a far further reach. And so I thought it would be, money does not equal fulfillment. And so at what point am I doing something for a selfish reason, or should I help the community in the best way that I can? And so for me, that is why I did it.
So in the 5 years you've been on the bench in district court, any of your decisions you kind of second guess yourself or keep you up at night?
Yes. I mull over the decisions a lot. When you're an attorney, it's easy to say, okay, I'm right, or this person says I'm right. And you feel like you're very, very right. But as a judge, you have to objectively look at both sides and really weigh what they're saying to make sure that you're making the accurate decision. And sometimes the decisions are very difficult. There's not a lot of law in Nevada as compared to other states. And even you were talking about discretion, there's still a lot of discretion. Mm-hmm. So when you're weighing factors, the Court of Appeals and the Supreme Court could look at it differently, right? They have a much broader perspective. I have a perception of what's going on down here, but they're collaborative courts too. So it makes it easier because you could be thinking something, but then someone else could bring something up and you go, oh, you know what? You're right. I was looking at that incorrectly. And so in that regard, being on the Court of Appeals or the Supreme Court is easier because you can bounce ideas off your colleagues and you have to make a decision together. I mean, one person can dissent, but it's a collaborative court.
Do you have a lot of your decisions overturned or appealed, or what does that look like?
I do have a lot of appeals. I think over the course, like right now it's in the 20% reversal rate, but a lot of those, it's not just a reversal, it's the vast majority are the Supreme Court or the Court of Appeals saying, we just need more information. So I may know everything that's going on in the case because I've been living it for years with the attorneys, but the order that was given may not be enough information for the court.
Is it more so the criminal that get appealed or
Civil.
Oh, civil more so.
Civil.
What kind of cases do you take on the civil side?
The majority are personal injury.
Oh, okay.
And then lots of breach of contract, real property issues. We have collections. There's a lot of foreclosures that are happening right now. Mm-hmm.
So what measures do you take to ensure both sides in your courtroom have been treated fairly and respectfully?
I give them equal time. I don't cut anyone off. And I make sure that there's no yelling at each other. So if they have an argument to make, they can make it to me. So this way, one side is not trying to personally attack another because it does get heated. And so just make sure to keep it professional. And I have great attorneys who appear in front of me. So,
do you explain your decision at the end?
I do. In the beginning, I wasn't doing that, and I realized that was a disservice. And so now I explain the reasons why, and I think it really helps.
Do you get very many people that come in and court observe?
We do.
I was thinking about that.
You do?
Yeah, we do.
That's good. Besides us?
Yeah, because what'll happen is, let's say that you've never appeared in front of me before and you have a case coming up.
Oh.
You want to just come and watch and see how it is.
Yeah.
Right? So we have a lot of people do that. We might have just members of the community who are taking interest in a specific case. Mm-hmm. So as long as because if I see someone walk in and I don't know them, I'll just say, oh, what case do you want? Because I don't want them waiting. I don't want them thinking they have a case that day, and then I didn't call it because we moved it and they didn't know that we moved it. So I always make sure, oh, what case are you here on? And if they say, no, I'm just watching. Oh, okay, you're just watching.
Yeah.
And then people can also watch on Zoom. So, but we just asked, they don't have to turn their camera on. They just have to let us know their name. So we make sure if we're in trial that they're not going to be a witness in the trial, just so we know.
Right.
So, yeah, but I love having court observers.
That's good. More people in the community should do that. I think a lot of people don't realize they can, first of all. And so many people, I always ask judges this, because so many people, when you guys are campaigning and all of that, nobody ever knows the judges. And, they're looking at their ballot and just like, picking a name or whatever sounds good or looks good. And I just wish that you guys were more accessible, I guess, and that people would come get to know you guys. And you guys could have, maybe community events where you all come and people can come get to know you.
Yeah, and I think it's actually really easy in this electronic day and age where anyone could email my assistant and get the Zoom link. We have a permanent Zoom link. So you, from your comfort of your own home, you can just watch hearings. You don't have to drive downtown, park, walk, go through security, go up the elevator. I mean, that whole process takes a long time.
Oh, yeah.
So you can just click the link and you can just watch court in real time. And so that makes it really nice.
Which one do you prefer, when the attorneys appear on Zoom or when they appear in person? And which one is more impactful?
It's not my decision whether they appear via Zoom or in person. So the only time I require it is if it's trial related. So if we're actually in trial, they need to appear in person. And if we're having a calendar call or a pretrial conference, those are all trial related. I want them there in person because we're talking about trial issues. We might have documents that we're reviewing to prepare for the trial. But on a regular status check, you have to do what's right for your client. You don't want to increase the costs. If your office isn't downtown, why would you want to bill a client for those 2 hours? If you happen to be there on other matters, maybe it makes sense, but that's something for the attorney to decide, not me to decide. But I will say that on large substantive motions that do take a while, I prefer people in person. I love people, so I'm always going to want people
You're
there.
a people person?
Yes, I am. And studies actually show that people who appear in person have better results than those who appear electronically.
So speaking of trials, some critics question your trial experience during the campaign. Have you addressed those concerns since you've taken the bench?
Wow. I mean, I start another trial next week, and that'll be my 9th trial this year.
Okay.
And this is only August. And several of those were 3-week trials. So I have a lot of trial experience.
So you won't hear that again this campaign.
No, I will
So
not.
null and void.
That'll be silence now.
Yes, yes.
Were you a judge pro tem?
I was a small claims court judge.
And how
Yes.
how does that influence and make you be the judge that you are today as a district court judge?
It helped me deal with people who didn't have attorneys, because in small claims court, 75% plus did not have attorneys. And so I'm very aware of.
I thought attorneys wasn't allowed in small claims court, no?
They are allowed, they're just not required.
Okay.
That's at least what it was then.
Because they consider small claims as a people's court, right?
Yes. Yeah. You didn't need an attorney.
Right.
But some people still had an attorney. So.
What do you think of judges have mixed opinions on this. The Review Journal bringing back the survey that attorneys fill out about you guys and kind of give their opinion. What do you think of that?
If I get a high score, I'm going to love it. I don't know. To ask me after it comes out.
Because depending on, the questions asked or, who that attorney is and how many reply, and
Yeah.
it could really skew the results.
Yeah, I mean, I've talked to a board of governors with the state bar, and he told me that there's only about 6,000 to 7,000 active attorneys in the state, even though the bar numbers are in the 16,000s. So a lot of people have retired or they don't actually practice here. But
suspended.
yeah, or suspended. But when I looked in the 2019, a lot of the surveys, it might have been 100 responses or 50 responses. And what I have heard from attorneys is that this is how they feel. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but they don't know if it really is anonymous. And so a lot of people had said they're afraid of responding because they don't know if it really is anonymous.
What are we talking about? Judging the judges?
Yes.
The review journal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
I really don't like it because I've been around attorneys and judges for a long time, and if attorney has a bad decision, right or wrong, they're going to give that judge a bad grade. So, and plus being anonymous, come on, folks, don't be anonymous. Just say who you are and what you like. That's I'm just direct like that, and I wish a lot of people would be cowards. Anyways.
Yeah, but then some of the judges might retaliate.
No,
because,
deal with it.
judges are not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
But maybe some would.
Yeah, I mean, I've had, maybe I shouldn't actually say this, but
Say it. It's a free country.
All right. So I had a trial with this firm, and they did not like my rulings. And they wanted to make their record, and so I let them make the record. And for half an hour, they went on telling me about how I was the worst judge ever.
Oh.
But I sat there. I had to sit there and
Oh my
take it.
gosh.
To me, district court this is where you make your record,
Right.
right? The Court of Appeals and the Supreme Court, they want to make sure that everything's flushed out. So I sat there and I took it. But over the course of the trial, because a lot of my trials are 2 or 3 weeks long,
Right.
things had changed, and they seem to have changed their mind. And now I've had many subsequent trials with them. Now they love me. So if you had asked them then, they would have said, oh, I was the worst judge ever. But if you ask them now, that opinion might be different.
You're the best ever now.
Yeah, because they got the result they wanted. But I didn't change.
Mm-hmm.
They did.
They just didn't like my rulings. But I am very fair to both sides. I do not lean one way or the other. It's not appropriate. And especially because I was on both sides. So I understand. I stood at both tables.
Mm-hmm.
So why would I favor one or the other when I was there and I know how they're feeling?
So you have a poker face then.
Oh, I do.
Yeah. So do you feel safe in the courthouse?
I feel safe in the courthouse. I do.
What improvements do you think that the district court should have that it's lacking, if any?
With respect to safety?
Anything.
Oh, anything.
Anything.
I think family court needs better facilities.
What does that mean?
That means that they need,
A new courthouse?
yes.
That will house all of them in one place?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
They do need that. I think we need better facilities, especially for the juveniles
Mm-hmm.
that family court deals with.
Mm-hmm.
I really feel like family court needs some TLC.
How do you balance efficiency in the courtroom with the need to ensure justice isn't rushed?
Give people their own separate time if I know it's going to take a really long time. So I have a trial coming up. The attorney wants to start on Wednesday because it's his wife's birthday and they're going to be out of town. So I'm going to accommodate that, right? Family comes first,
Mm-hmm.
right? Your spouse and your children or your grandchildren, that's first.
Mm-hmm.
This case is still going to be there. Whether we start on a Monday or a Wednesday isn't going to change anything. But I need to respect the jury's time. And so there's a lot of issues, and we were going to address them Wednesday morning before we brought the jury in. But I said, no, I think it's going to take a lot longer. So let's do it your own special time, Tuesday afternoon. You're just going to have the whole afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that last week. There was an issue. Trial is set later in the year, but they had an issue with one of the doctors and they wanted to know what was going to come in and what was going to come out. And I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to give you all morning. You can just take your time and we'll address these issues so you know ahead of time and we don't have to waste time when the jury is impaneled.
So you're a outdoorsy type of person, right?
Yes.
So you enjoy rock climbing.
Yes.
How does that stimulate the brain, so to speak,
Rock
and
climbing.
make you a better person on the bench?
Rock climbing is like a moving meditation. So it's you and the rock and the gear, and it really helps you focus and stay humble because you're putting your life on the line, your partner's life on the line, and what's important to you is right there in the moment.
Is that how you manage stress? Is to rock climb?
Yes, rock climbing, hiking, being outdoors, just nature, whether it's Lake Mead. So it's very, very important to me.
2026 is a big election year. I mean, this is the second time it happened that I can remember that every single district court judge is on the ballot. What would you say to new judges that are judges that want to challenge another judge to take the bench? What would you say to these people, these attorneys?
So ones that are going to run in an open seat or running
Both.
against?
Like for your seat, for example.
Oh, for my seat? Well, it's a free country. They can choose whichever seat they want to. The job is harder than it looks. There's a lot of work that we do behind the scenes that...
Explain that. What do you do behind the scenes?
For example, search warrant duty. So every court has their own search warrant duty. You had Judge Gibson on recently, and he talked about how the delinquency and dependency judges have their own. And we have our own as well in district court. And ours is 2 weeks at a time. And so for those 2 weeks, there's two of us who are in charge of all of the search warrants. And that's 24 hours, right? So that's at 2 a.m., that's on Saturday, that's on Sunday. You still have to do all of that work. You have to review all of the search warrants and all of your additional work. And if you're in trial or you still have calendar, you really can't let people know if you're tired and you haven't slept because you've been up all night, with your computer by you or your phone by you, and your spouse is being woken up as well because you have to have the phone with you at all times. So I calculated it. On average, each does it about 4 weeks out of the year. So to be on call like that, and it's 672 hours.
Wow.
That is in addition to everything else that we're doing. It's one of the hardest parts of the job, actually, is search warrant detail. Yes. So
what do you look for in the search warrants?
Probable cause. What are the facts and what are they looking for? Are they overreaching, or is there something to support what they're asking for?
And do you swear them in? These are officers that want search warrant. Right?
Yes.
Do you swear them in over the phone, or do you do it in person? How do you do that?
It used to be in person, but once COVID happened, it switched to over the phone. So if they call, we swear them in. And if they submit it in writing, they have sworn under the pains and penalties of perjury.
And what happens if you found out one of these police officers are lying to you for a search warrant? Well, what would you do? Or what can you do as a district court judge?
I wouldn't sign the search warrant, and I would actually talk to the presiding criminal judge. And I might talk to the judge who's in charge of search warrant duty as well.
Okay. Yeah.
So I would talk to them.
Sometimes they give descriptions that are not the real description.
Yeah, I could tell you stories.
She probably knows, but she won't be able to talk about another time. I always ask the female judges, do you have a CCW and do you carry in the bench?
Not currently.
No. Okay.
Do you want to get trained?
I've thought about it, yeah. I just hadn't had the time before.
Oh, you got to make some time.
The first
personal safety should be, you make time for that.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's just...
We always ask when, now that guy flew over the bench. I mean, that was incredible.
Yeah.
That was horrific.
Yeah. Judge Holthus is very fortunate.
Yeah.
To be healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
when she has her clerk coming over to do the job.
I know, he's a hero.
How many marshals are usually in your courtroom?
We always have one marshal, but the judge who is adjacent to us, if they're not in court, he'll come early because we have to stagger our times for criminal. So some people start at 8:30 with criminal, some at 9, some at 9:30, some at 10 because of the jail and transporting people. And so the judge next to me, her criminal calendar doesn't start till 10. And so the marshal will actually come in early to our courtroom. So, and sometimes if there's a big issue, other marshals will come in, will ask ahead of time, hey, could you come in? There might be some issues with this person. We want to make sure everyone is safe.
Would you encourage other judges, because some judges turn us down and don't want to come on the show, but we think it's a great idea and a great opportunity for judges to come on where people can listen to you and kind of get a feel for your personality, how you manage your courtrooms, and because people just don't know you guys. So what do you say to those judges that don't want to come on or they're shy, or, do you think it's a good idea? Then this is a good way to be able to reach the public?
I do. I think it's a great way because in civil criminal, there's 32 of us. And I could go through each one and say what each judge does that goes above and beyond. And it's different for each judge. And have a platform to be able to tell people what they're actually doing it's transparency, and it's to let people know what's actually going on. I think some people might be a little shy, but it's great for the people to know. In this day and age, I think it's very easy to vet candidates and see who you think the best person is. And if the judge on the bench, if you feel that they're doing a good job and you want to retain them or not. Mm-hmm. And so this is just a way for someone to get to know you.
Well, we certainly appreciate when the judges come on. Because it's really good for the public, and especially with elections coming up next year. I've watched all of your recent judicial interviews over the past 6 months or so that you've had them. One, because I need to do my own reconnaissance. You don't give me the questions in advance, so I need to figure out.
That's cheating.
Well, I need to be prepared. So I actually learned a lot listening to a lot of the judges. Judge Gibson's, his was 2 hours.
Oh, we had a lot to talk about. Those family court judges.
Yeah.
Oh, man, they are
more critical when it comes to the family court judges.
Yeah. But I learned a lot. I watched Judge Charter. I watched Judge White, Judge Gordon.
Mm-hmm. Michael Cherry was on.
Yeah, he was on twice.
He was on. He was.
I saw him both times.
He had a few things to talk about.
Yeah. So I learned a lot just watching it. Yeah.
So are you running for re-election?
I am.
Okay. Very good.
Yes.
Ms. Phillips, do you have anything else for Judge Krall?
No, I think we'll let her go now.
Judge Krall, is there anything that you wanted to cover that wasn't covered?
No.
Do you do any type of specialty courts or anything like that?
No, I don't do specialty courts. The chief assigns those to judges and hearing masters.
And if you had to do a specialty court, which one would you think that you more gravitate towards?
Veterans court.
Good. Very good.
It's very fulfilling, right, when you see people successful. Because I send people to the specialty courts, and when they come back successful, I congratulate. Yeah, I congratulate them and tell them they should really be proud of themselves.
Well, Mark is going to zoom in on you. This is your time to speak to the public and say whatever you want to say. Go to my website. I don't know if you have one already, or vote for me, or come to my court. Whatever you want to.
Yes.
Whatever you want to say.
I just want to say thank you, and I appreciate you.
Well, that's short and sweet.
That's right. She'll have more to say soon, I'm sure.
Well, Judge Krall, thank you for coming on the program. Really appreciate you coming here. Thank you, Ms. Phillips. Folks, that's Nadia Krall, Clark County District Court Judge, Department 4. And we hope that this interview was educational for you and informative. That way, when you go to the voting booth in 2026, you'll know exactly who you want to vote for without a doubt. That's what these programs are for, to make sure to get rid of all doubts. And if you have any questions for any judges, please feel free to let me and Ms. Phillips know about that, and we will ask your questions if they are what, Ms. Phillips?
Appropriate.
Appropriate. This is Steve Sanson and Stephanie Phillips with Veterans in Politics. Until next time, we have another show coming up, so don't go away.